Welcome back, everybody, to another deep dive. You guys sent in some super fascinating research this time around.
Yeah.
All about how language shapes our thoughts and decisions.
Yeah.
And get this,
Okay.
it turns out that some of the same tricks used to manipulate people, they could also be used to exploit AI. So let's dive in.
Let's do it.
And figure out exactly how words can be weaponized
Yeah.
in the world of artificial intelligence.
It all starts with, how our brains process language, right? We don't always need, every single detail to understand something.
Right.
Our minds are constantly, filling in the gaps,
Yeah.
creating a complete picture, even with, limited information.
So it's like almost like finishing a friend's sentence.
Exactly.
You already know where they're going.
Yeah, you're jumping ahead.
So you just jump ahead.
Yeah.
Is that what this research means by contextual reconstruction?
Precisely. And that's, where the vulnerability lies,
Okay.
Advertisers, politicians, they're masters at using this to their advantage.
Oh.
They use specific words to evoke emotions and plant ideas and subtly guide you towards a particular conclusion.
They're basically hacking our brains
Yeah.
with language.
Kind of, yeah.
This research actually mentions emotionally charged terms, words like freedom or crisis.
Yeah, those are big ones.
Those can just instantly shift how you see an issue.
Totally. Think of it like this. Certain words, they act as triggers,
Right.
activating pre-programmed responses in our brains.
Interesting.
And this isn't just limited to humans either.
Oh, really?
AI systems that are trained on text data can develop similar associations.
Wait, so you're saying AI can be manipulated in the same way?
It's a new frontier, but the early research suggests it's possible.
Wow.
Just like with humans, manipulating the language used in prompts or commands
Okay.
could trick AI into behaving in ways it wasn't designed to.
So instead of injecting malicious code, you're injecting words.
Yeah.
That's almost like a new kind of prompt injection attack.
Exactly. By strategically choosing or removing words, you can exploit the AI's learned associations. You're essentially creating a linguistic backdoor.
A linguistic backdoor.
Yeah. And you know what's even more fascinating?
What's that?
It might not even require adding words.
Really?
The absence of certain words could also be used to manipulate AI.
Hold on. Are you saying that what's not said can be just as powerful as what is said?
Think about it this way. If AI systems are trained to recognize patterns in language,
Okay.
removing certain words could disrupt those patterns. It's like creating a blind spot in their understanding.
So if you know which words the AI relies on to make decisions, you could potentially remove those words and cause it to malfunction.
Yeah,
Almost like a linguistic sabotage.
exactly. And the scariest part is we're just scratching the surface of this.
Wow.
As AI systems become more complex, the potential for manipulation only grows.
So this feels like a whole new frontier in cybersecurity.
Yeah.
We spend so much time worrying about hackers injecting code,
Right.
but now we have to worry about them injecting, or should I say removing words?
It's a paradigm shift, that's for sure. And it really highlights the importance of understanding the subtle ways language can be weaponized. It's not just about what's explicitly stated,
Right.
but also what's implied or omitted or cleverly disguised.
So how do we protect ourselves and our AI systems from these kinds of attacks?
Right.
Is there a way to vaccinate AI against linguistic manipulation?
That's a question researchers are grappling with right now.
Huh?
One promising approach is to train AI systems on more diverse and robust data sets. The idea is to expose them to a wider range of language patterns,
Okay.
including potentially manipulative ones.
So by showing the AI both the good and the bad, it can learn to distinguish between legitimate language and language designed to trick it.
Precisely. It's like giving the AI a more sophisticated immune system,
Okay.
one that can recognize and neutralize linguistic threats, but it's an ongoing battle,
Right.
As attackers develop new techniques, the defenses need to evolve as well.
So we've talked about how AI can be tricked by manipulating the language it's trained on.
Right.
But what about us humans?
Yeah.
Are we just sitting ducks just waiting to be manipulated by, clever wordsmiths?
Well, not necessarily. Awareness is key.
Okay.
Once you understand the tactics that are used to influence you, you can start to spot them in the wild.
Okay.
Pay attention to the words people use, the tone they adopt, the emotions they try to evoke.
Yeah.
Ask yourself, why are they framing the issue this way? What's their agenda?
So it's like developing a language radar, always scanning for potential manipulation.
Exactly.
But how can I apply that in real life?
Right.
I mean, I can't exactly analyze every word I hear or read.
Yeah, it's not about becoming a language detective 24/7.
Right.
It's more about developing a healthy skepticism.
Okay.
If something sounds too good to be true, Or if someone is trying really hard to push your emotional buttons, take a step back and consider the source.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But it's not always easy to stay objective, especially when we're bombarded with so much information from all sides.
It's true.
Feels like everyone is trying to manipulate us these days, from politicians to advertisers to social media influencers.
Yeah, we live in a world that is saturated with information.
Right.
And not all of it is trustworthy. That's why critical thinking skills are more important now than ever. Don't just passively absorb information, question it. Look for evidence, consider different perspectives, and be wary of anything that feels overly simplistic or emotionally charged.
This has been a real eye-opener. I never realized how vulnerable we are to linguistic manipulation, both as humans and in the realm of AI. It's almost like a hidden code that influences our thoughts and actions.
And like any code, it can be cracked. By understanding the principles of linguistic manipulation, we can become more discerning consumers of information and protect ourselves from being unduly influenced. It's a journey, not a destination, but every step we take towards greater awareness makes us less susceptible to manipulation.
So knowing all this, what's like the one thing you would want our listener to take away from this deep dive?
Think before you react. Words have power both for good and for bad. By understanding that power, we can harness it for positive change and protect ourselves from its darker side.
Well said. That's all the time we have for today's deep dive. We've explored the surprising power of words, how they can be used to manipulate both humans and AI, and how we can develop our own language radar to navigate this complex world. Thanks for joining us, and until next time, stay curious.